Well, good morning, everybody. All the YouTube, FlossTube, and artisans of the needle. I'm not very tech savvy, but here goes. I'm Kate, or Kowgirlkat, if you remember the old Yuku, Teresa Wensler bulletin board, Yahoo, all those old message boards for needlework. I was Kowgirlkat on there. So now I've discovered the world of FlossTube, and oh my god. You know, pictures and messages are great, they're awesome, but to actually see the people, hear them talking, interacting with their projects, love it. It's so cool. So I want to be on that bandwagon, and I'm looking forward to getting to know everybody a lot better. Been watching videos whenever I get a spare moment, so it's just awesome. Just love the whole idea. So if you're gonna be in something, I guess people ought to know a little bit about you. So again, my name is Kate, and I'm from the Midwest in the USA. And what I do for a living is I farm with my husband and his parents. Several years ago, his health began to fail, so I resigned my job in town and came home to replace my father-in-law on the farm. So I'm out there doing all that stuff, and no biggie. I grew up on a farm. I married a farmer, so I totally knew what I was getting into. But, you know, it's a lot of work and a lot of blessings all at the same time. And you just got to do what you got to do. So, besides my husband, I have 2 children, 2 boys, and they're teenagers now. So, let the drama begin. I'm sure it's coming. And I guess pets was another question. We have, so many pets. But again, you know, we live on a farm. We raise cattle, hogs, sheep. We're lambing right now. I apologize for the bags under my eyes. I know they're there. That's what happens, you know, because you never know what you're going to run into, but you got to check them every night. Make sure the babies are okay and the mamas aren't having any trouble. So we're in the middle of that right now. And we also raise crops. So there's never a dull moment around here. And as far as the pets go, I have 6 horses. They're pretty much my hobby. The kids are somewhat interested in them. They like them. But, you know, when it comes to the work of it, they're not real crazy about the work of it, but they, you know, love the fun of it. But that's okay. That's life lessons. You gotta take the work with the good. So I have those. We also have 2 donkeys that we recently adopted from the BLM along with a Mustang. So that was kind of a lifelong dream of mine, was to adopt a horse from the wild Mustang adoption thing. So I finally got her, and while we were there, my husband and the kids were like, oh, we need donkeys. So the donkeys came home too, and they're just wonderful. They're such characters, you know, they're such quiet souls. So it's been a lot of fun to tame them, get them to learn new things, earn their trust. It's just a wonderful thing. Besides those guys, we have 3 dogs, 2 house kitties, and also some kitties out in the barn. One of my sons has a bearded dragon lizard, and the other son has a hedgehog. So lots of little critters around here, but it's all good. I'm a firm believer that animals are the best teachers for children because they teach them responsibility, they teach them empathy, and they teach them that you can enjoy something, but you have to take care of it. You know, you can't have one without the other. So it's a good thing. We're very lucky we are able to, you know, have the space to teach them these kinds of lessons. But, you know, with having so many critters, there's also a lot of the work. But it's all good. It's all blessings. Other hobbies? Oh my goodness, there we go again. I'll narrow it down to the top 3 because there are quite a few. And for me, one of my things was every fall I would take on something different, something new I've never done before, and try to master it before spring. Heavy goal sometimes, but last couple years, the farming and taking care of my in-laws has just kind of crunched that. So I've just been kind of squashed for time. So, but the main ones I would have to say, the top 3 would be number 1 above everything would be my horses. You know, I love to hang out with them, train them, just do whatever with them, even if I don't get to ride, because riding has been scarce since I've come home to work the farm. So, yeah. Horses number 1. And then just below that would probably be on equal footing, probably the needlework, art, and music. For art, I like to do painting, drawing, sculpture, writing, illustration, whatever. I just like to do it, and if it's a form I don't know how to do, I want to at least try it. Even if I'm going to suck at it, I still want to at least try it. Because, you know, it's art. You can't fail art. It's expression, you know. And then for music, I play piano and violin. Of the 2, I prefer the violin, just because I only have to deal with what one hand is doing because the other arm is pretty much taken care of working the bow. So I don't have to worry about fingering or anything like that. And to my weird brain, violin just seems easier. You know, people say it's supposed to be harder, but I'm backwards that way sometimes. And as far as style of music, I like it all, really. Rock, country, old-time fiddle, classical, I like playing it all. It's just all fun. I like the songs more than the genre. So that's kind of where I sit. Right now, my younger son, is taking up violin, so it's been really fun interacting and, you know, showing him stuff, and, you know, his teacher works kind of with both of us to, you know, help him through, and it's just amazing. It's so fun to have another musician in the house again. A number of years ago, my other son took up guitar, but as he got older, he phased out of it. You know, kids do that. You just gotta let them ride with it. And maybe someday he'll pick it back up again. But at least he had the opportunity, and, you know, I'm blessed for that. Taste in projects. And the needlework, I say needlework and cross stitch intermittently because I don't just cross stitch. I like to do, you know, the samplers that have the different stitches in them. So I see needlework just to cover all my bases. That way it's all, you know, PC and everything. Not that anyone cares. I first got into cross stitch needlework, 18 years ago. I was pregnant with my first son, and of course my main hobby before this was the painting and the horses. But now, being pregnant, the horses were no issue, but the painting was, because I do oil paints and even the watercolors. I mean, not the ones that you like get at Walmart or whatever, but for the artist kind, they have a lot of chemicals in them, and you can't be around that stuff. You can't breathe it when you're pregnant. So yeah, that stuff got all packed away, and it was quite a while because 9 months plus the baby, and then we had our other son right away too. You know, there's not, when the babies come, you're not going to have time to do anything, and that's how it should be, you know, focus on them. But at the same time, I'm not one of those people that can sit and watch TV. I'll go insane. I have to have something to do. So I went shopping around for something to do, and I bought a kit for cross stitch. It's probably the only kit I've ever finished. It was a dream catcher by Janlin, and I have it somewhere, but it's still packed away. What do you do? I haven't framed it. And from there I started collecting more kits for probably 2 months. And then I discovered Mirabilia. And yeah. I have to say that's still probably one of my favorites, is the Mirabilia Nora Corbett. Her line of designs. She has yet to make one that I don't like. Even if I wouldn't stitch it right away, you know, I still admire them because she just does so well at it. She's very good at the outfits and the poses and so forth. So I jumped from an Ada kit, I don't like Ada by the way, right into linen, beads, metallics, you know, buying all your own thing and kitting it up that way. And never looked back. And it still ranks very high because unlike the painting, I can take this stuff anywhere, I can work on it anywhere, there's no mess, there's no drying time. You could put a project down and it's going to stay there until you get back to it and nothing's going to change. God willing, nothing will change. But I just like the flexibility of it. There's no deadline. You can do whatever you want with it. And also under those lines, I'm a serial starter. Love to start projects. Ooh, that's the greatest thing ever. But finishing, not so much. Not so much. Anyway, other favorite designers I like are Channel Lanes and Heaven and Earth Designs. And those two and the Mirabilias are probably my top 3 favorites. I also like to do samplers and some holiday things, but I've yet to start one. A holiday anyway. I haven't gotten around to it. And it was only a number of years ago that my taste just kind of started changing into things that were simpler, like the Victoria sampler, that kind of designs, more cutesy kind of things. But I have yet to start any of that stuff. I've only just been picking up the charts here and there as I actually get into a store. So, mainly these last few years I've been just working from the stash that I had. But I'm hoping to change all that. Hopefully this will be a good year. You can see behind me I have a few of my finishes out. So in a little bit we'll go introduce yous. And then what I was working on for January. So I apologize in advance for shaking the camera when I go pick it up, but let's go have a look. Okay, over here we got some of the Celtic Ladies by Lavender and Lace. I have 3 of them finished so far, and I'm working on a set of 8. Way back when I think Summer was released, which would be a conversion of Mabon. I decided, this was like on the Yuku board, I think, that I was going to make a set of the 8 Celtic holidays. So far I've only got 3 done. Excuse me. This is the Mabon. She's a conversion of Summer. And I wanted her to look like Arwen from Lord of the Rings. And the name of the dress in the movie is actually called the Blood Red dress, because the sleeves were red. And it's the one where she drops the book when she tells her father that there's no ship that can take her away because she's not going to survive the war unless the good guys win. So that's Mabon. And that was my favorite dress in the movie. And then she was finished in 2004. And as you can see, she still ain't framed. Yeah, framing sucks. It's expensive. And over here we got in bulk. She was finished in 2008. Yeah, I have a really horrible track record, don't I? And there you can see she's got the hood, the little lamb. I'm working on trying to find a way to make him available to people that would actually even be interested in him. But there again, I said I'm not very techy, so I'm working on it. Way back when I first did the hood,